What if you could make bespoke wooden gifts at home that actually feel special? Well, today I'll be doing just that. I'll be going through the design process and the laser cutting on one of these rotating photo boxes. And as you can see, as I turn the handle, you'll see the photos just rotating over and over. Now, this is a simple project that you can do at home with your own desktop laser cutter. So stick around and find out how it's done, and let's turn them photos into handmade memories that anybody will love. But before we get started, just a very quick word from the sponsor of today's build, omtech Laser. Now, if you've not heard of them before, omtech is one of the largest laser suppliers in the whole world, and they are a company that focuses on making laser cutters and engravers more accessible for makers like myself and small and large businesses alike. Been around for years, and a lot of people use their machines from anything from woodworking to acrylic, cutting a leather, signage and custom gift projects just like this video today, and much more. So for this project today, I am using the omtech Turbo 747 laser cutter, and it is handling all the cutting for this photo rotating box we're making today. So a massive shout out to omtech Laser for supporting this video and many others like it. I'll put a link down in the description if you want to see the type of machines they do. At the time of recording this video, they are running a pretty big sale, and I do also have my own personal promotion code, which again I'll put down below in the description. So if you want to get yourself an extra bit of money off your new laser cutter, just use that promo code below and it'll come off at the checkout. So again, thank you very much omtech, and hope you enjoyed the rest of the video. So I wanted to design something small, mechanical and personal. So this box uses a rotating wheel that flips through the photos as it's turned, and I'll walk you through the design process and laser cutting and how it all comes together. Right, I've actually decided to split the design side of the video up into a separate video. So if you want to find out how to design this box yourself, I'll put a link down in the description below. It'll just take you to another video to watch. I just wanted these videos to try and be as short as possible. So again, if you want to watch the design video, I'll put a link down below, guys, and that'll be how to design it. And then come back to this video if you want to check out the build. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the rest of the video. As you can see then, we've actually sent the design now to the laser. So I had this spare strip of 5.5mm plywood just lying around the workshop. So I popped this into the laser, got everything lined up, and then we just run it to cut out. All cut through beautifully, as you can see, all in one pass. And then we actually did do the cog out of acrylic. Again, you can do it out of wood if you wanted to, but we done it out of acrylic. A quick test fit on our 9mm dowel, everything looks fine. And again, with our 3mm dowels there, just to make sure that slots in place. Everything is cut out now and ready to go. We just need to get all the sides. So again, we got our bottom, our two sides with the hole cut out at the center, and then we just stick it all together. And at the moment, I'm not gluing anything down. And you'll see here, I'm just putting masking tape around the sides to hold it all together. We don't want to glue it together yet, because we know there are going to be some fiddly bits with putting the cog and the dowel and everything in. So now we're just measuring up the dowel. So this again, this is that 9mm dowel we're going to be using. So we're just going to mark roughly of where we want to cut it. We do want it to protrude just a little bit. And I would just pop in all of our 3mm dowels in there just to make sure everything does work. So when we put it together now, you'll notice everything rotates as it should. That's rotating, as you can see, as it should. So this has got quite a nice feel to it at the moment. All the cogs there are moving nice and freely. So now we just need to cut our photos out, and then we'll just do a couple of quick test runs with it, and we'll see how it works now with this paper. So let's set our first image around our dowel then. So we just need to fold it in half and just crunch it all down apart from the exact center, because we want this dowel to slide in there quite easily. And we also want the photo to roll around the dowel, so as we're turning the cog, the photos are falling forward freely. So we'll pop a bit of glue on there. This is just a bit of PVA glue for now, just to see how well it sticks and holds. So for the first version, I went through quite a few different types of paper, from like photo paper to just standard printing paper, and then doubling up to try and get a little bit thicker. So you'll see, even though they do kind of come around, they don't drop properly. So I wanted it, when it would come down, you'd have the two matching pictures just line up like that. The picture's not in order or anything, this was just a test. So I didn't want to put too much time into it because I knew it wouldn't work that well, but I just wasn't happy with the way they were coming around. So with the second version I made, it's very similar to the first version. The box is exactly the same size, the gears on the inside are the same size, and the holes that hold the images are in the same size. But if we have a look from the side, I've set the center where the gear rotates forward towards the actual front of the frame. So with this one, it was centered in, and if they were rotating properly, they just wouldn't look right because they're set so far back. With the second version, you can see they have come out a lot more forward, and they do sit there a bit more prominent, and it looks better overall. Now, tackling the issue of the type of paper or card I was going to use, I actually went a completely different route with it. I found these small, super thin, I think they're like 1/2 mil plastic sheets, which do cut out really well on the laser. And I've made these shapes here, so when the images do go in there, you'll have one half on one side and you can fold it over, and the other half will go on the other side. So again, when I first started the second box, going with it a completely different route and using these plastic inserts, you get that nice clicking noise with it, and they do just fall forward on their own a lot better. You can see we've got this little stopper up here, so when it comes to the front, it isn't just going to fall forward by itself. It'll sit there quite comfortably looking straight up, and then when we turn the handle, they'll come around very, very smooth. We'll notice with this image of SpongeBob, if you can look at that, that is just printed on normal paper, which I just glued onto these plastic inserts. I really wasn't happy with how that worked out, so then I tried with just normal photo paper and gluing that on, and again, it was just a little bit too messy for me, and I wasn't liking how it was sitting in there because I couldn't get it to sit in there just right. And you'll notice with this again, this is a different type of photo paper, and again, I just wasn't happy with the results. So what I did find online is this glossy photo paper. Not only is it glossy photo paper, you can peel it, and it's actually got an adhesive on the back, so it's for stickers. I'll put a link down in the description if you want to check out the one I used. Now let me show you a full sheet of kind of how the whole setup works, and I'll try and explain it the best I can. So you get one photo, so the top half of the first photo is over here, and then you take the second half and then you move it to the right one, and you do that all the way through. But I did all this photo work in Inkscape, and it took forever to do because you have to put the image in, duplicate it, remove the top half, remove the bottom half, and you have to remember the sequence you had to go in. So I've put this on a piece of paper in a way that there's a tiny little gap in the center here. So then what happens is once you've cut your square out, you'll be able to stick the top half to the top half of it, and then you fold it over so the blank space goes just on the underside. Fold it over, and then you can stick the other side to it, and you'll get nice looking results like the dog here and this family. Now what I will say with these plastic sheets as well, these are actually made out of ABS plastic. Now you shouldn't really be cutting ABS plastic out with a laser cutter because it can produce toxic fumes. But I did take extra precautions by wearing a mask, and because these are so thin, it doesn't give off too much smoke or fumes. But because the omtech laser's extraction is so good, I was comfortable doing it, knowing it is going to pull like 99.9% of any fumes and smoke out. But again, I did take extra precautions by wearing a mask just in case. And after cutting, I did allow the fan to run for a couple more minutes afterwards, just to be on the safe side. So if you are going to try and make one of these with the same sheets, I do recommend taking extra precautions. Right, so now I'm at a point where I'm happy with how the box looks and I'm happy with how everything works. So obviously we've got the little light on the inside working. The roller works as it should. It's got a nice clickety-clack sound to it. Just a case now of getting everything glued together properly, all from the inside, so there's no glue visible. So the files for this will be down in my Patreon, which I'll put down below in the description. So check that out if you want a copy of it. And also, to save you a load of time of editing the images to be in all the right places, I have actually made a completely free tool you can use on my website at the moment. Again, I'll put a link down in the description for that. And to use the website, all you need to do is take a few measurements of the plastic inserts you'll be using. So I've got 31.8. So I'm just going to jot that down on a piece of paper. Then we're going to measure the width of it then. So we've got 64 dead on. So again, we'll jot that down. And now let's just measure the thickness just to double check. It should be 0.5, yeah, 0.5 millimeters. Nice little drawing just to remember what that is. So all in millimeters, and the 31.8 is going to be ×2 because the size of it is going to be there. It's going to be for one photo, so not one split in half. So you upload all your photos, and then you just put in the width and the height. So the height, so I got, what was it, 31.8 ×2, that'll be 63.6. So again, once the photo split in half, it won't be the half, it'll be the full size of the photo. And I'll also put the size of the gap, so 0.5 millimeters. Generate, it'll do it straight away. Again, it's completely free to use. You can see all these images have been done. If you just take a look, you've got the first image, just move down one as the next one goes on and on and on. So once you're happy with it, just download the PNG. And then once that's saved to the computer, open it up and just send it to your printer. I'm printing this at a very high DPI. Just see it is taking a little while to come through. But once everything does come out, you can just see how crisp and clear these images are. So these are going to look fantastic in the little box. Now we just need to go through the process of sticking them all down. So this is what they should look like, hopefully, once they're done. So they're going to slot into the box that way, so that way up. So we've got that one there and that one there. So obviously when we flick it down, you'll flick it down, and then the next image in the sequence, which will be that one, should show next. We've got those two done. At the moment, it doesn't really matter what order you stick them all down in. It just matters what order you put them in the box in. So let's start peeling the back of these. So again, my favorite technique is just to place it in there the best I can, trying to line it up with the backing. And then peel away, fold and push. So we'll show you that again. So this goes tabs down. I'll peel the backing off so the image is facing upwards. Tabs in. On the non-sticky side, just try and line up those two edges to the edge of the back of the sticker and the tab. And then stick that down. Peel the rest. Fold and stick. Guess I'm just going to do that, 9 more times. And then we'll have a look at putting them in the box and see how it looks.
We just need to work out now what order these need to go in. So again, we've got fireworks would go there. So I can put these in now. And now the birthday one goes next. So that'll be this one. And what comes after that then? The family photo. And this one will go in next. And on the back of that we have another family photo. And the next photo is this one at the beach. Pop that in there. I should mention that none of these photos are like of me or my family or anything like that. They're just randomly AI generated images. Because I didn't want to put existing images of people in these, and I didn't want to put my family in them, because there are a lot of weirdos out there. So this one will go in next. So all these are just AI generated images for now. And then when I do decide to make the proper one, I will put photos of my family in there. Christmas with Dad. In next, on the top of that then we have the little girl opening her presents. And then we have the Baba munching down on some chocolate. Santa Claus, which will be this one. This material we've used for the placeholder is so good, it's so flexible and just so like forgiving. Barbara asleep with teddy bear. Because the amount of times I've like bent these out of shape and you just bend them back into shape. And then we've got, oh, we need to come right around. It's looking good though. We need to come to this one here. Ice skating, which is that one. And then Eiffel Tower, and then picture with Barbie with the dog. All done, all working really well, all in order. And we've also got it backlit as well with the light in the back, which we can just twist on and off. But yeah, overall, really happy with how this turned out. A very simple concept, and yeah, these will make a fantastic little present for, you know, friends and family and stuff like that. Good little memories. And this is why I love laser cutting. You're not just making objects, you're making memories. This box started as an idea and then a flat sheet of wood, and now it's something that tells a story every time this wheel is turned. And if you want to try making one of these wooden gift boxes at home, I'll put the links down in the description for everything I used. And if you did enjoy this build, definitely give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and let me know down below what you think my next build should be. But anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Ta-ra now.